Hello everybody, welcome to the show. As always, I'm your host, Chris Owners. Thank you all for tuning in to the show. And thank you for following me on Facebook and Twitter and also on Instagram. And don't forget, subscribe, share requests on YouTube channel, do so. And also, make sure you click the bell so you'll be the first to know whenever we have new content, extra content, and more content. Anyway, thank you all for tuning in. How is your week going for you? I hope you keep it well, you keep it strong, and most importantly, you're keeping safe. Well, weather looks good, we're all good, we're happy, and let's go into it. Anyway, this week has been a wonderful week, lots of stuff lined up, but today we took it to a different level. It's all about art, it's all about painting, it's all about the things you want to do. But guess what? This amazing lady all the way from London, but actually she's from Wales, but originally from Holland. It's an amazing, wonderful story that I want to share with you. It's a beautiful documentary from the amazing Ewa Czarniecka. I tried, but she won't keep me from this one though. We already talked about it. Anyway, coming up, she's gonna be on the show today and she's gonna tell us all about her journey. I can't wait for you to hear this wonderful, beautiful lady. Art is beauty. But let's hear it from her. Before she come on the show, take a look at the documentary and then the real show. And then don't forget, share request your subscription. Make sure you do on my YouTube channel. Take it away. We'll be right back.
My name is Ewa Czarniecka and I'm an artist. I was born in 1975 in the small southeastern Polish village of Krasiczen. I clearly remember the moment I was first inspired to paint. I was 13 years old and on a visit to my uncle's house I saw Bronisław Linke's Youth Blood. The painting moved me and overwhelmed me emotionally. And so for my first painting, I attempted to imitate it. Obviously, it wasn't very good, but that experience was my first step in my artistic journey. From a young age, I always wanted to be a professional sportswoman. I actually jumped 175 centimeters in a high jump. But even when I would travel for athletics camp, I always took my canvases and painted. The other athletes took to calling me Ewa the artist. And eventually, painting took my heart completely. I attended university in Poland studying art, but I didn't really like it there. I'm quite a shy person, and I felt everyone there was very confident and quite overpowering. Maybe I was a little too sensitive, but it just wasn't quite right for me at the time. Around the same time, I met who was to become my future husband, and we decided to move to London. I would paint every day. I was applying to show my work in some galleries, but I was constantly rejected. I shut myself in my little studio and just painted more. I wasn't getting any recognition, but I was still an artist, and so I painted. This was quite a dark time for me, but in hindsight it was very beneficial. It hardened me to the industry and gave me an opportunity to practice, experiment, and reach a new height in my work. Eventually, it was my husband who helped me get out of the studio and put my work on display again. We started to travel to art fairs up and down the UK, and to my surprise, I started to have a lot of success. My work was selling. I was appearing in art magazines and catalogs, and critics were starting to write about me in a nice way. Everything was going well, but I still felt that something was stopping my work from reaching its true potential. And as much as I loved London and everything the city had given me, I felt it was the problem. Which leads me on to now, the new chapter of my life and work. My husband, myself and our 3 cats made the bold move of moving to the beautiful Welsh Brecon Beacons, where finally I feel like everything is in line to allow me to paint with no barriers or distraction. It's been a long journey to get to this point, but it's taken time to realize what I need as an artist, to be consistently inspired. I still feel as excited about painting as I did when I was that 13 years old girl, seeing Linke's work for the first time. Yet now I have a whole lifetime of experience and practice to help me realize my vision. My style is something between abstract and impressionism. I've always been drawn to strong, rich colors. It sounds silly, but I like it when the painting screams. I've always heard paintings as sounds, and seen sounds as paintings. And listening to emotional music, it's often a starting point for many of my pieces. If you'd like to find out more about my art, please come and visit me at ewaart.net, where you can view my latest work and contact me directly.
Yes, welcome to the show. As always, your host Chris Honors. My guest today, I've been fighting with her about her last name, but don't worry, Ewa will tell us her last name. Ewa, welcome to the show. How are you doing today?
Hello, how are you? I'm very good.
Very good. Good to see you, and thank you so much for coming on the show. Like I did my opening, I said I'm fighting with the last name, though I did try it. The last name.
Well.
I tried, but look, it is what it is. Thank you so much for coming on the show, Ewa. I want to say it's a pleasure to host you here. And also, well done to the work you're doing when it comes to painting. We've looked at your documentary. It's so amazing, so enriched. So many stuff we're in there, and it's just one of those things we love to want to see people tell their story. So let's get to meet you. Tell us about yourself. How did everything begin for you? Talk about it.
So yeah, basically I was in very young age. I was attracted to art, and I was a very sensitive person. So I kind of feel like art is something I find very relaxing and helping me with the going through my personal stuff and everything. So yeah, painting is basically escaping thing for me. It's like something amazing.
No, it is true, because when you look at your documentary, it's just so detailed about how you started. And you also mentioned in your documentary that you started, you get inspired at the age of 13 years, and that was the first time you kind of have an eye on it, and that was what inspires you. Though you mentioned you didn't do it as perfectly, of course you won't do it as perfectly because it's your first time. You want to try to get yourself into it. So when you first pick up the brush to actually start painting, what was the first thing that comes to your mind?
Well, it was a very, it was a relief. Like, I found something which is very personal for me. It did kind of, I don't know, it's hard to say, to put it in words, because it's something you can't really explain. It's just a feeling. It's something Yeah, I can't explain.
You put it this way, it's something you wanted to really do. It's like a child who's crawling and hoping to get walking someday. And the first time the child will stand up, it feel like, oh wow, so I could stand. Okay, that means I'm not gonna be crawling anymore. I can stand. That's the way I feel your interpretation would be, if that makes sense.
Yes, exactly. You
Yeah,
put it perfect.
yeah. And tell us about your small village you're from in Poland. What, and that is the southern part of Poland. What's like?
Yeah, it's a small village in a, nearby Ukraine border.
Okay.
Yeah, very pretty in the mountains, which is
Mm,
similar where I live now in Wales.
okay.
Yeah, the nature always been a great inspiration for me, for my art, and
Mm,
I feel connected to the nature a lot. So
true,
being
true.
in London for 14 years,
Wow.
15,
Mm,
yeah, it was. I was really missing the the nature and
true,
the
true, true.
connection with the deep connection, because like in London, you
Mm,
know, you can see people and you can see different stuff which inspired me a lot,
hmm.
but not the same as here.
Yeah,
Which,
yeah.
yeah, what I'm trying to say is very similar to Poland, where I come from.
Mm. I mean, in general, you're very right. I think that's what the world is missing a lot more, because we kind of live it two kind of life now, where I would say one looks like artificial, the other one looks like more of the nature one. So your own type of experience now is, oh yeah, I love the big city, I love those creative stuff, but I want to be on the sober side of life, because I can connect with nature more better. I can think in a different way of expression, and that can connect through my painting, and which I will talk to you about. So you also struggle through the times of trying to get yourself out there. How did you manage to break through? Tell us talk about it.
Um, well, what do you mean?
As in, you struggle to get to get a breakthrough with your painting. So my question is, how did you manage to break through? I know you mentioned your husband did help you at some stage to get your product out there. You were rejected, a number of times. So I'm saying, how did you manage to finally get yourself out there?
Oh yeah, it's just a simple stuff. You have to work, and doesn't matter what happens. You
Mm,
have to drive yourself to the studio every morning and
mm,
paint.
mm.
That's it. Nothing else. Yeah, and don't be. I was trying not to be too serious to what I do. You
Mm,
know, it's more like, as I said before, it's more like a therapy for me. So
yeah.
yeah, I've been very lucky to have discovered this, way of finding myself.
Sure. Adventure. True,
Yeah.
true adventure of yourself. Now, when you do your painting, what are the things you have to have in mind to actually illustrate your painting? Because you can't just pick brush and say, oh, I just want to paint. Uh, what has to be inside of you? What do you have to think about? What do you have to connect with so that your painting can come to light?
Well, again, it's a really hard to explain, but I'll try.
Okay.
Basically, is as I said, it's dragging myself every day to the studio,
Hmm.
brush, and and work, and
Hmm.
it has to be specific music, not every music, to
Okay.
inspire me, or complete silence,
Hmm.
or yeah,
And
and I just do what I
just go with the
do.
flow.
It
Just do what
doesn't
you
matter.
do.
Yeah.
Now, what I want to ask you more is when how much time do you have to put into a certain painting? How much time would you have to put into it?
Well, it depends. Sometimes it's just a few hours. Sometimes it's the weeks or months.
Hmm.
I do a lot of commissions for my regular clients, and but yeah, the commissions are the worst, I would say, because it takes a lot of energy.
Yeah, to get yourself out there and push it to there. And also, your husband did play some good role for you as well. Like you said in your documentary, he was there helping you, taking your some of your work out there to showcase it, and this is how you start to get clients to help yourself. Do you want to tell us some of the work he did for you?
Well, he's helping me, with everything. He does the frames. He
Hmm.
does, he makes me laugh. He makes me, you know,
That's very
um,
good. Very
yeah.
good.
And he is in the technical stuff like printing, limited edition prints,
Oh, good.
and yeah, computer stuff. Just
Mhm.
something
Okay.
I am not really, you know.
You're not a tech person. Okay, so let's come to your painting, right? Um, Give us, for our viewers at home, kids and other adults who might be really interested to think about painting. Like on this show, we always bring guests who are into different lots of stuff, creative, either in art or in music or other different areas. We bring everybody in. So for my viewers at home, we're tuning in, we're watching right now. Um, what would you tell us about the different style of painting that you would use to do your work?
Um, well, I work with oils, so this is my main medium,
Mm,
and but I've heard a lot of about good things about acrylic when you want to start.
yeah.
It's stuff that's probably easy to manage at the beginning rather
Mm,
than go to professional like oils and but yeah, experimenting, doing whatever you like, doesn't matter how it comes,
mhm.
just just relieve yourself and do it.
Yeah, have fun with it. Just
Yeah.
have fun with it, and then you can start to progress with that. Okay, so I come back to yourself. You also have you're really into dogs, and I think I saw a little bit dog that I just came up there. You're into cats and all the rest. You're full-time housewife. I just like the way you said, "Oh, I'm full-time housewife." I work together with my husband and do all the stuff, which is great. So come back to yourself. You have your own studio.
Yeah.
You're working in your own studio now. How is that for you? Would you do it full time or would you do it part time? How would you work around it?
Well, we've been really lucky to have this place, which is nearby Brecon and Beacon National Park.
Good.
Absolutely wonderful. It's as I said, full of nature, and we've got our raven
I
every day.
can see.
He's a dogman, so
Yeah.
he needs attention and a lot of walking. So which is it's fantastic, and we've got everything what we need here to be inspired, and we've got a sea an hour to drive.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as this is inspired by the Welsh coastline, and yeah, it's fantastic here. So
Good. Amazing. And each of those display you have, are you able to tell us different story about them? Even one or two of them, that is fine. Can you tell us the story of each one, like the one on your right hand side? What is that painting all about? Just give us a bit. Yeah, the first one there.
that
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
Well, as you can see, it's obviously London,
Mm-hmm.
very popular scene, very well selling.
Very
So
good.
yeah, I always loved London, and it was wonderful time when we first came to live in London, and I was always remember the city as fantastic place for everybody. So yeah, that's my favorite subject.
Wow, wow. Yeah, and the second, and how long did it take you to actually do that very painting? How long did it take you?
That size, probably around 3 days. Like
3 days, yeah. It's a whole lot of work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I like the atmosphere of the painting. So if I don't feel it, I have to just leave it and come back later to, you know.
Continue again, that kind of way, back and forth. Yeah, because I mean, it's not going to be something you're just going to finish all at once. You know, it has to be a process. It has to fit certain area of your imagination or how you want it to look like. So there's a whole lot of, you know, processing you have to put into it.
A lot of thinking, a lot of, you know, coming back, and you know, a lot of cheating.
And do you do like as exhibition or training, or people who want to come around to learn this? Do you do something like that?
Oh, you mean like yeah, we have here quite a lot of artists, and I belong to a group which we have exhibition every year. Not now, obviously, because of the pandemic. Yeah. But yeah, we gather once a year and we have open studios. Yeah. So people come in and just visiting the place, and you know, it's a lot of coffee and chat.
Which is good. Which is good. And also, how is the magazine appearance going for you so far?
Pardon?
How is the magazine appearance going for you so far? As in, featuring you on magazines, your product on magazine, how's that going for you? Good?
Oh yeah. Well, to be honest, since I've got my recognition, I'm not so good with the staff promoting, you know, because I've got a lot of work with the commissions and selling and everything. So for now, I'm a bit behind. This is a good point. I should, I should do this more, definitely.
Well, you know yourself, this painting work, there's a whole lot of work into it. So you're gonna spend more time even for doing one of those, you know, signs. They will take forever, you know. So it's not easy. Why don't you do yourself? Before we wrap things up there, Eva, I want to say your style of painting was good, though we did share some photos with you there, which we're going to showcase them on our TV program. So there was one I really liked where you actually standing in the, I think you were standing and you kind of start in a river, you're doing your painting. How did you come up with the idea?
Well, as I said, we walk our dog every day by this river. It's extremely cold. I've never ever been in such a cold water, believe me. But you know, everything is so beautiful here that just wherever you go, I'm just inspired every day. I can see something, you know, new in our walk. Even it's the same walk every day. Yeah. But it's just, you know, Welsh is a beautiful place to be as an artist.
Wow. It's a lovely place to be. I've been there once before, so I think I might come back there next year after this pandemic thing is all going down for a while, because right now there's a lot of restrictions everywhere to kind of know where you're going, you know, so we'll see what happens, you know. Eva, look, I want to say thank you so much for coming on the show today, but before we let you go, we just want to ask, how can my viewers find your website so they can be able to see more of your work and, you know, make some order from there?
So my website is ewaart.net, and basically if you Google my name, I'm there on the top.
I won't pronounce the last name. We'll leave it there for the moment because I don't want to be in trouble on that. So If I want to say thank you so much for coming on the show today. We want to wish you best of luck in all you do, and we'll keep in touch. And take care of yourself and keep up the good work you're doing.
Thank you very much for having me.
You're welcome. Okay, viewers at home, thank you for tuning in. As always, to the Jury Question, make sure you follow my guest on our website. We put all of this information there so you can be able to see a lot more work that she do have. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Jury Question, of course, on Facebook, Twitter, and also on Instagram. So we'll come your way next week. Take care and God bless. Bye for now.